You ever notice how a woman hugs you first, and for a split second? Your entire body freezes, not because you're scared, because something in that moment feels bigger than you, more intentional, more dangerous, and yet you pretend it's nothing. You call it friendly, you call it normal, but what if that one small act was never small at all? Men miss signals not because they're blind, but because they were taught to fear their own intuition. And as a psychologist, I've spent years watching men overlook the exact signs that tell them a woman is opening a door most guys never walk through. So let's walk through it slowly, honestly, without the lies you've been fed. When a woman hugs you first, the world around her becomes background noise. She's not thinking about who might see it. She's not thinking about what you'll assume. She's thinking about how she feels in your presence. Most men assume. Women use words to express attraction. Wrong. Women reveal interest through proximity, how close they allow you to stand and how close they choose to be. A hug is the most underestimated form of female communication. It looks innocent on the outside, but psychologically it's intimate, it's bold, it's vulnerable. A woman does not initiate that kind of physical closeness with a man she feels nothing toward, even if she tries to hide it behind a cute smile or a quick hi. Her body is telling a story. Her words can't. Let me tell you something most men never hear. Women are terrified of hugging the wrong man first, terrified of sending the wrong message, terrified of being misread. So when she chooses to take that step, she already weighed the risk. That means she sees something in you that feels safe and something in you that feels dangerous. In a way, she likes both matter and the length of that hug. It's a code. If a woman gives you a quick, polite squeeze, her mind is on autopilot. But if she holds you for that extra heartbeat, that extra breath, that moment where her fingers tighten just a little, she's not hugging you anymore. She's feeling you, she's calibrating, she's checking whether your energy grounds her or pulls her in deeper. Most men don't notice, because they're busy overthinking what to say next, but women don't hug to hear your words. They hug to feel your presence, to sense what you cannot fake: confidence, calmness, masculine stability. Here's the truth you were never supposed to know. A woman's first hug is her way of placing a quiet bet on you. She's not declaring her feelings, she's testing the emotional chemistry between you both. She's asking a question without speaking, and she's hoping you're paying attention. Because if you ignore the signal, she won't repeat it. A woman only initiates vulnerability once. If you shrug it off, if you act numb, if you pretend you didn't feel the shift in the air, she tells herself she imagined it. And once she convinces herself of that, you lose a window that doesn't come back. A woman's hug is not an accident. It's an accident. It's an invitation. There's a moment inside that first hug that most men never feel because they're too distracted by the shock of it. But she feels it clearly, fully, deeply when she wraps her arms around you first. She's not just reaching for your body. She's reaching for confirmation. Confirmation that the way she feels around you isn't a fantasy she made up in her head. You need to understand something about women that most men never learn. Women don't take physical initiative unless they already feel emotionally pulled. Attraction drags them forward long before logic catches up. But here's the part you're never told. Her hug is a measurement, a quiet assessment. She's testing something primal. Do I feel safe with you, or do I feel alive with you, or do I feel both? That duality is rare, and when a woman feels it even for a second, her body responds before her mind can. Think about her perspective. She lives in a world where she must constantly protect her boundaries, her comfort, her reputation, her emotional safety. She can't afford to be reckless with touch. So when she hugs you first, she's stepping out of her comfort zone. She's gambling on you, and that risk is not random. A woman's nervous system doesn't lie. Her body moves toward what feels good and away from what feels threatening. If she moves toward you, it's because your presence disarms her in a way she won't admit yet. And inside that hug, she notices everything. She feels the steadiness of your breathing. She feels whether your arms hesitate or respond with certainty. She feels the warmth of your chest and whether her body relaxes against it. She feels the tension you carry, the calmness you radiate, or the chaos you haven't resolved. Women don't just hug, they read. You think you're standing still, but she's decoding you. And here's the part that should shake you a little. A woman can feel in 3 seconds. Whether you're emotionally grounded or emotionally starving, whether you're a man who sees her or a man who needs her, whether you're in your power or trying to borrow hers, That energy decides everything if she senses you're dependent on her attention. She'll pull back, but if she senses that her presence simply adds to you rather than completes you, she leans in closer the next time the hug is the first checkpoint. The real signal comes from how she behaves after. Does she smile differently, shorter, softer, like she's hiding something? Does she hold eye contact a beat too long, like she's waiting for you to understand what she can't say out loud? Does she stand near you even when she doesn't have to, as if her body is magnetized? These are not accidents. These are micro-expressions of attraction that leak out when a woman's guard slips. You won't verbalize it. She doesn't want to seem obvious, but she's hoping you catch it. Because if you do, and you respond with calm confidence rather than desperation, she'll escalate without realizing she's escalating. But here's the twist. She's not testing whether you like her. She already knows you do. She's testing whether you're a man she can emotionally trust, a man she can relax around, a man who makes her feel feminine without her trying. And that's why the first hug matters. Because in that one act, she's revealing who she becomes around you. There's a shift that happens in a woman after she hugs you first. And most men never catch it because they're too focused on what to do next. But the truth is, you don't need to do anything. You need to notice women aren't drawn to the man who performs. They're drawn to the man who observes, understands, and responds with attention instead of insecurity. When she hugs you first, she essentially hands you a psychological map, one most men never learn how to read. See, after that initial hug, she pays attention to how you carry yourself around her. She wants to know if you become awkward, nervous, overly excited, or if you stay grounded in who you are. A man instantly tries to prove himself, talks more, jokes more, or rushes to keep the moment alive. She feels the shift, and it kills the chemistry. Because she wasn't attracted to a man performing, she was attracted to a man present, a woman's feminine instincts. Crave a man who remains steady, not cold, not detached, just steady in a way that makes her feel like she didn't misread you. This is why your response to her first hug is more important than the hug itself. If you overreact, she shuts down. If you underreact, she doubts herself. But if you respond with calm certainty, just a warm, grounded hug back, followed by natural conversation, she feels something she rarely feels with men: emotional safety. Safety doesn't mean boring safety. It means she can relax her guard. And when a woman relaxes, her femininity rises. And here's where most men lose her without knowing. They start chasing the moment instead of letting it breathe. They text too fast, compliment too soon, push too much energy too quickly. Women don't fall for pressure. They fall for presence. They fall for the man who doesn't need to grab her attention because he already has it and doesn't treat it like something fragile he might lose.
Ow.
Her attraction grows in silence during the moments. You're not even talking, the way she watches you when you're not looking. The way she notices your posture, your tone, your discipline, the subtle confidence you carry. She feels more from your energy than your words. That's why the hug she initiated is only step one. Step two is how your presence affects her afterwards. If she finds herself thinking about how steady you felt, how warm you were, how natural that closeness was, she starts imagining you in her life without even realizing she's doing it. And here's the psychological truth. When a woman initiates touch, her brain releases oxytocin, just a little, but enough to make her associate comfort with you. The moment that follows reinforces that comfort. Her brain locks the connection in even deeper. That's how attraction becomes emotional. That's how emotional attraction becomes desire. Not through grand gestures, not through clever lines, through consistent, grounded, masculine presence. When she hugs you first, she's not asking you to chase her. She's asking you to match her, to give her a reason to lean in further, without fearing she'll fall alone. And the men who understand that, those are the men women choose. Even when they don't want to admit why. There's a moment every man faces after a woman hugs him first, usually alone, often late at night. When he sits there replaying it in his mind, wondering if it meant what he hopes it meant. And here's the truth most men never hear. If it meant something to you, it meant more. To her, women don't risk emotional exposure without purpose. Gosh. She hugged you because the way you make her feel slipped past her defenses. And that feeling is not random. It's a signal her body sent before her mind had time to analyze it. But now comes the part that decides everything: what you do with the signal. Men think the next step is to step up with big gestures, strategic texts, Perfect timing, but that's not what reaches a woman on a deeper level. What she really wants is to see whether you're a man who understands the unspoken language she just revealed. Because when she initiates touch, she's silently asking, can you meet me where I am without overwhelming me? Your biggest power is not acting, it's acting with intention. You don't need to chase you, don't need to rush you, don't need to prove anything. You just need to show up as the same grounded, steady man she felt in that hug. Women fall for consistency, not performance. They fall for the man who remains centered, even when her presence stirs something inside him. That steadiness is rare, that steadiness is masculine. And that steadiness is what creates desire that lasts longer than the moment. Because here's the deeper psychological truth. When she hugged you, she wasn't just expressing interest, she was revealing the version of herself she could become around you. Softer, warmer, more open. A woman's femininity blooms only when she feels emotionally safe and energetically drawn to a man at the same time. That balance is delicate, and most men break it without meaning to. They either push too hard or pull too far back. But the man who walks that line with quiet confidence, he becomes unforgettable. She'll think about the way your arms felt. She'll think about the way your presence calmed her. She'll think about how natural the moment was and how rare that is. And as that feeling grows, she'll start sending more signals. Subtle shifts in eye contact, softer tone, longer conversations, more excuses to be near. She won't verbalize attraction. She'll allow it. She'll let you in slowly, hoping you notice the openings she's giving you. Because women don't want to chase, they want to feel chosen by a man who sees what she's offering without taking advantage of it. But hear this clearly: if you treat her initial hug like nothing, she will eventually feel foolish for giving it. If you treat it like everything, she'll feel overwhelmed. But if you treat it with calm appreciation, just enough to show presence, not pressure, you create the exact emotional environment where desire grows naturally. So before this video ends, let me leave you with a question most men avoid asking themselves when she hugged you first. What did you feel that you're afraid to admit? Tell me in the comments. Your honesty might help another man understand what he's been ignoring in his own life. And if this spoke to you, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with a friend who needs to hear this message. Is meant to educate, inspire, and create awareness around emotional intelligence, masculine presence, healthy boundaries, mutual respect, and conscious attraction. It encourages self-reflection, confidence, self-control, and understanding human behavior in a responsible, respectful, and psychologically grounded way, without manipulation, exaggeration, or dependency. And it exists purely for personal growth, communication skills, and emotional clarity.